Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, world.
Timeless.
Today, we are in an awesome planet and we are going to have another awesome guest here in Awesome Live. And I am very proud and happy and elated and honored to have somebody who will be inspiring the Gen X, the seniors, and all those in between. I'm talking of nobody but Alicia Yael
Tama ba yan?
Honasan,
Talagang full name para official.
alias Alya. Alya. She's always been known as Alya. She is the byline in so many articles that you may have read or heard about or ano ka ba, nagba-blind items ka? Hindi naman ano.
Hindi naman.
Okay.
Books. Marami akong books.
And
Promise.
and in a lot of books.
Yeah.
If I start now, it will be talking about a lot of her accomplishments, but here are some. She does yoga. She's, of course, the writer. She does scuba diving.
Oh, yeah.
She's a survivor. She's a dog lover ng mga pulot.
Pulot.
Mga aso. And to all the matronas there, she's one of your rivals with the BTS.
Yan ang aming sign. The Korean finger heart. Yeah. There you go.
I think we will have a good time talking and seeing the story of Alya. Welcome, Alya.
Thank you, Nance. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
How fun went?
Yeah, you're always a lot of fun.
Oh, di ba? Actually, anybody who practices yoga is called a yogini. Strictly speaking,
Yeah,
kung babae. Yeah, tapos yogi kung lalaki. So, yeah. So,
hindi,
I do
leveled
practice.
up ka na eh. Leveled up ka na eh.
Leveled up.
So, ano yun?
I'm trained. No, I'm just a teacher. I'm just a yoga teacher and a practitioner. Wala naman siyang wala ka naman mga Although yung ginagawa namin, joke lang yun, pero G means teacher. Kunyari, you're my teacher, you're Nancy G with a J-I at the end. Nancy
Alya
G.
G.
So some of the students call you Alya G, but that's over naman yun. That's for a very senior teacher. So no, we don't. And then we attend each other's classes. So that's why it's very hindi ka above. Like today, if I will attend a class taught by my colleague, and then tomorrow, I will teach a class and then she will attend my class. So walang, teacher ako, ikaw hindi. Walang ganon. So,
Alya, ang ganda mo.
Ganon.
Ang mga features mo, Miss Tisa. Now, tell us now, taga saan ang mga unasan?
Bicol, through and through. My father's from Bulan, Sorsogon. He's a last town before Matnog yata, but it's a seaside town. And then my mother's Sorsogon City. Mm-hmm. So we actually grew up with Bicolano more than Tagalog. My mother is Tatawa ako mag-Bicol. So we grew up speaking it and then we would go home regularly. Then my father has Portuguese blood somewhere. So I'm not that puti. I'm actually Radi. Yung pag iniitang kay namumula ka, ganun din yung mga brothers ko eh. Yung mami ko maputi talaga. She was 1/4 Kachila, so talagang her really Ballesteros eh. When I went once to Villa Escudero in Quezon, there sila nung one of the earliest yung mga census na mga tao nandun sa museum nila eh. Nahanap ko yung Ballesteros, hindi ko nahanap yung Honasan. Nandun yung Ballesteros, yung mami
kasi Honasan sounds like hindi Pilipino yung sound na yun eh.
So they say it sounds Japanese, but hindi naman. I don't think so. But yung Ballesteros, matagal na talaga siya around. 'Di ba? May golfer pa si Severiano Ballesteros. Pero namatay na rin yun eh. That golfing star.
How do you manage with famous brothers and
can you hear my children?
And famous ikaw yung bunso. Hindi ka naging fighter din o mga sundalo or something?
Di naman. My mom made sure of that. In fact, to an excessive degree, I thought. Kasi my mom and I were very different. She passed away before the pandemic. 2020. Good na rin. Good na rin kasi she didn't see it. So she didn't see the pandemic anymore. But It was fun kasi 'di ba, spoiled ako ng tatay ko. I was daddy's girl. And then all of them were Manong Greg, Manong Don. We called all of them Manong. So okay naman.
Okay.
When it got kasi patriarchal yung family medyo. Alam mo yung pag may mga party, the guys were sitting down talking and then the women were in the kitchen cooking, which I didn't like. I don't cook. I can't inaamin ko kay Auntie Reyes that I cannot cook to save my life. So I would sit down with the guys, and then of course my mother was eternally frustrated that I couldn't cook, but ganun talaga. So I think early on tinanggap na nila na hindi ako typical hindi
Okay,
ako
so
typical mold.
you grew up in Bicol, and then
No,
from
no naman, we had a family. I grew up in Manila, but we would be going to Bicol very regularly, no? Because we had
okay.
relatives pa there. But Manila girl talaga ako. Marikina girl actually. I've
Okay.
lived there
So
all my life. Oh.
journalism ka ba? Is that your core interest now?
No, I was going to become a doctor. I was pre-med.
Okay.
Doctor ako, I took BS psychology because actually very specific yung goal. I wanted to take care of my dad who had a heart condition, and I'm not afraid of blood or anything like that. I don't faint. In fact, one way to I relax now, which you might find gross, is that I watch anatomy videos on YouTube, and I watch pimple poppers, and I watch open heart surgery. It helps me relax actually.
Really?
So, yeah, strangely enough. So my favorite is the Institute of Human Anatomy. They're so cute. They go through cadavers and they show you which organs are which. No? So, but my father passed away when I was in first year college. So hindi na ako nag-shift. I finished, which is a mistake. I should have shifted. But I finished my BS Psych course, and then I just decided to work na lang after that. So
Right.
hindi ako nag-doktor.
Okay. And then on to writing, journalism.
Not immediately. I took the first job I could find, which was as a PR girl for an insurance firm. PR girl talaga. And then after that, sabi ko, ano ba pwede? I started writing for a trade magazine in Makati. Then tuloy-tuloy na from there, I would contribute to different, that's how I met my first newspaper boss, Telma Sanuan, whom you had recently, di ba? And then, tuloy-tuloy na from there. I became a writer from I'd say about 1989.
Oo, tagal na.
Tagal na. Matagal na rin.
Yeah, maybe you can mention the diaries later. Pero other than that, so from then on, puro writing ka na ba?
Yes, puro writing na lang talaga. Kasi, and iba-iba, I would do features. I was never a reporter. I do features. So it was Manila Chronicle, then 2 or 3 rounds with the Inquirer that I'd apply, then I'd leave, then I'd come back, and then I'd leave. I did some time with Lifestyle Asia under Julia Abdasa and Nestor Mata, who were huge mentors. Mr. Mata was in particularly, I adored him. He adored me. Talagang nakaalaga siya.
Yeah.
Inaalagaan niya ako. And then from there, nagdyaryo na ako kay Thelma.
Mm-hmm.
Kay Thelma San Juan. So, palipat-lipat doon. So, in fact, I was with also, and then nagkasabay kami ni Thelma. We went to Leti Magsanok. So, talaga kami, feature. And then on the side, I was doing books. When I say books, you would be asked to write chapters of books. Later on, you write the whole book.
The whole
Later
book?
On,
yeah.
on different topics, no? Like, medyo nag-specialize ako sa environmental. Like, a few years ago, we did a book on Tubataha. And then I did a book for my friend on the Coral Triangle. So I would be writing mainly the text, no? And then, iba-iba, people. We would write about individuals. We wrote a book about Hans Menzi before. We wrote a book about the Go family behind Equitable Bank. Mga iba-iba. Mga iba-ibang topics. So,
hindi ba sa Tsuchi?
Yeah, the Tsuchi Foundation. Out of the blue, Mitzi Borromeo introduced me to Judy Lau, who handles communications. We become really good friends. I think you know her well. And then sabi ko kay Mitzi noon, sabi ko, pa agenda ng mga to? Why are they giving away this money? What's their agenda? And then sabi ni Mitzi, they have no agenda. They just want to help. And then I was shocked, and it was very true. So it was very interesting book to write, no?
Yeah, well, you mentioned about writing about the coral reef kasi you said, and I know that you're a scuba diver.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Okay, so we were doing, it was Lifestyle Asia. We were doing, me and the late Manny Goloyugo, one of my favorite
Si
photographers,
Manny.
also passed away na. Yeah, you know Manny.
Yeah.
So, so ano, we had a running joke with Manny na sabi ko, Manny, kung may gwapon, tawag mo sa akin, ma'am. Ha? Pero kung pangit yung nagpapakyut sa akin, kadiri, tawag mo sa akin, sweetheart, ha? Kasi ang laki niya, di ba? So that's how he would protect me. So, syempre, kung may nakikipag-cute, if you're flirting with a cute guy, go, ma'am, matulog na ako. No, so we were going around the Philippines. I was sitting in Panglao, I remember. And then suddenly may lumabas na a phalanx of Japanese divers came out of the water. And then they were raving out how beautiful it was. Sabi ko, lang yata mga to sabi ko. So that same year, I learned to scuba dive, much to the chagrin of my mother, na parang, of course, she was certain I would die, I would drown. No? And then that was 1989. So that's about 30 years ago. So
Ilan dive ka na?
I've lost count, over 1,000. So
Oh, wow.
and then I studied. So I'm at the highest non-professional ranking, which is Master Scuba.
Bakit non-professional? Hindi ba
Because
professional na yun?
No. That's ano. You can choose to do it for a living, or you can choose to do it for yourself. The other route would have been to the other one would have been dive master. You're like an underwater tourist guide or instructor. You could have gone that way, no? But I didn't want to take care of other idiots. Kasi maraming sutil na divers, bigla nawawala. That's how accidents happen. But
yeah,
we've been able to, in fact, this last pandemic, we learned to call ourselves opportunistic divers. Every time bumaba yung surge, we run out of Manila, go diving, come back, and then it'll go up. And then I've been lucky, so I have to shout out to my friends na I had an original dive barkada, all of whom hung up their dive gear and stopped. Ako naman parang, bakit? Paano naman masaya siya? And then I found a younger group, not naman younger, halo-halo lang, but a lot of them are younger. So now I dive with them. In fact, our last dive trip to Bohol, first week of May, ako yung pinakamatanda sa grupo.
Well,
at 58. Pero it was still
kaya.
Yeah, and then because for me, it's the best way to relax. And then I've also dived outside of the country, and I still can say that this is one of the most beautiful places on earth. In fact, we're so excited because for the first time in 2 years, Tubataha, which is the best dive site in the Philippines, it's an overnight trip by boat from Puerto Princesa. You have to travel all night, and then you're in the middle of nowhere, but it's the most beautiful reefs in the country. It's open after 2 years, so we're very excited. And then, it's good to go there. Yes.
Kung naka-encounter ka ng shark, is it true that if you hit them in the nose, that's
you don't have to because they're shy. Okay, I took this course. In fact, he passed away na in Fiji a few years ago from a shark expert called Eric Ritter. He was attacked by a bull shark, but he survived, and he's still telling everybody that it was his fault because kumbaga na corner yung shark. So nag-defense mech siya. He's a firm believer that they're really more afraid of us. And I would believe in that if you look at the shark mortality rates, no? I mean, sharks are getting killed for no reason. I'm a firm advocate of sharks. They're shy. They're really shy. They're not gonna eat you just because trip nila. No? So at our level, at my level, because I've been diving for years, we look for sharks. We go out there and then we respect their space. We look at them. And then they don't do anything. They're just gorgeous. They're mesmerizing. They've evolved so well, no? And then I don't know if this is tree hugger stuff, but the late Eric Ritter said nga, if you just send them good vibes, they know that you're not go out there to kill them. And that was the experience of our life kasi mga 2017 yata, we went to Fiji expressly to dive with tiger sharks and bull sharks. And true enough, pag nakaganong ka lang, puro ka lab, dadaan sila sa'yo parang puppy. Parang gusto mo hawakan, pero medyo nakatingin ka lang. So, there's so many other things to be afraid of than sharks.
Sabi nga, they are gentlemen. They are really gentlemen.
Yes, they are. And they're just defensive of their area. And then, and may I say that shark fin soup is really useless. It has no nutritional value.
Yeah.
It has no taste. They just mix it with other stuff. I know it's cultural. I'm sorry to your Chinese friends, but really, there's already fake version of that tastes just as good. So just stop finning, please.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
saying that. Okay. All right. And after shark, mga pulot.
Oh, yeah.
Ano ba yung
I
mga
always like to say that dogs are my favorite animal. Second lang yung sharks. I've had dogs all my life, but I had a Labrador in 2011. No, 2005, si Banana, the love of my life, this one.
Ay,
Dog people have what you call a heart dog. The dog
okay.
that's really closest to your heart there.
Uh-huh.
Labrador had it tattooed. That's water because she loved the water, no?
All right.
And then when I had her, nakapulot kami ng, oh, Carla, hi Carla. Okay. No, but
Hi, Carla.
si Banana helped me find a little puppy that was dying outside our gate. So I picked her up, and then after deworming her and everything, she grew up to be Kikay. Kikay is my panganay. I have three polots, Kikay, Kiko, and Frankie. They're all named after Saint Francis of Assisi, who's the patron of animals. And then after I got Kikay, I refused not to get, not because I don't like dogs with breeds, because they're gorgeous, but so many asPins need homes, no? I mean, ano na talaga sila? OA na sa dami. So, a friend of, like I told you earlier, a friend of mine found 5 puppies under a car. Somebody just threw them under, and then she got them, and then she said, "Who wants puppy?" And I go, "Me, give me one." So I got Kiko. And then during the pandemic, after my mom died, I asked my mom's yaya who stayed on with me, sabi ko, pulot tayo ng isa pang aso. Sabi niya, sige ma'am. So I called the Animal Kingdom Foundation, another Carla is working
Hi,
also
Carla.
with Cara, compassion and responsibility for animals. And then also, yung Animal Kingdom Foundation, they focus on raiding yung mga dog meat trade. So sabi ko, bigyan niyo ako ng isa nung pandemic para ma-occupy kami. And then I got Frankie. So sabi ko, give me the one who doesn't want to get, hindi na-adapt. So pinaka-unpopular, itim. I don't know why. People think they're malas. So I have a black girl, and then she came with skin problems, but now she's so fat. Where's she? Oh, there. They're all usually around my feet. I can't carry them. They're heavy. The pinakamagaan is 12 kilos. They're not lap dogs by any. So Kikay, the original, is now 13 years old. She's got cataracts and weak bones, but she'll be around for a while pa.
Kasi they say having pets, especially dogs, they can take care of you when you're sick.
Yes, that's exactly what Kikay did. When I had tumatalo na, no, I had breast cancer in 2013. I was diagnosed. I had Kikay with me. The oncologist said, "Okay, you've got to get rid of your pet." And I said, "No, if I get rid of my pet, I'm gonna go crazy. So what can I do?" So just make sure she's hygienic, sanitized, ganyan. So she still slept on my bed, but I didn't tell her, she would sleep sa paa ko. And if I tried to call her to hug her, hindi siya lumalapit. It's like she knew that she had to be a little extra careful, and she was very gentle. She would always sleep beside me sa feet ko. When I'd stagger to the bathroom, she'd be looking. But siya, low maintenance. So I didn't have any problem. Inalagaan ko siya. But she was like, she knew that I was sick. And then only later when she knew that I was better, they pick up your energy. So when I was stronger, doon na siya nagpapakiss, ganyan. But nung may sakit, when I was doing chemo, hindi siya nagpapakiss, nagugulat ako. Ayaw niya lumapit. Parang she knew na, teka muna, mag-ingat ka. So she was my nurse. Ate Kikay was my nurse.
But they sense your sickness, and
Yes, I sense a lot. Your sadness. And then, proven na yun. Scientific yun na if you pet them, di ba, they give them to people who are sick with PTSD, to war veterans. If you touch them, you feel your blood pressure goes down. Your feeling. There was even a study, di ba, a few years back. They got the dogs, trained them to go inside an MRI machine.
Yeah.
And then na-record nila that if they hear the voice of their owner, yung reaction nila sa brain looks very similar to what it looks like in human brains if there's love. Alam mo yun? And it's not just a reaction to food. It's a reaction to the voice of their owner. So it's not just food-driven. So the conclusion of the anthropologist was that really they're capable of affection. So, we knew that already.
Yeah, we believe that. So during those times, let's focus on surviving the breast cancer. How did you survive?
Okay, so when I was diagnosed, I knew a lot about it already because I knew Cara Magsanok, the people from I Can Serve. I've been doing stories. I've been doing stories about breast cancer already, and then boom, it happens to you, no? And people, if you still don't know what causes it, there's still no 100% cure. I think I was stressed out. That's how I feel. That's what happened. And na-delay pa because my dog died 2011. I was due for a mamo. Yung Labrador ko namatay 2011. So, pinabayaan ko. I didn't pay attention to it. So, 2 years later, I go get my my test, and then they're all iffy, no? So, but I worked fast kasi nga I knew how to do it. I got my mamo and ultrasound Tuesday. Monday. Tuesday, they tell me na mukhang the words of the doctor was, there's something here I cannot dismiss as benign. So Wednesday, I look for a doctor. Thursday, I do a biopsy. And then Friday, I leave for the World Street Food Festival in Singapore. I was covering it. And then, 1 week later, when I came back the following week, kasama ko si Leslie Cheng and some other foodie people. So when I came back the next week, I came back and then they said, yes, you have invasive ductal carcinoma. So, of course, I can't say that I was fine. Ganun talaga. Nakatunga nga ako. So, okay, what do I do? Ganyan. So, and then they said, we usually give you a month. That was June 7, 2013. We remember the date because we consider that the anniversary of your being a cancer survivor. You become a survivor. Okay nga. 9 years na ako. 9 years na ako.
Amen.
Diba? Amen talaga. So parang that's the day they count. And normally they give you a month to decide what you want to do. Then she goes, you give you a month. So, 1 month. Game. So schedule na namin yung, well, I'm endowed. So pwede siyang lumpectomy lang. Tatagalin lang yung bukol. And then, but because nga, lumpectomy, I had to do the whole 9 yards, which is like 12 sessions of chemo, 33 sessions of radiation. So I started treatment in June 2013. Everything ended in mga April 2014. So matagal
Yogi
siya.
ka na nun?
Oo, nag-yoga na ako noon. So, which was a big help because I could as soon as I was able to move, I could move kasi syempre may ka dito. Tapos nanigas yung veins ko rito, but masakit siya, but I was able to work them out, no? And then doon ko nalaman kasi kalbo ako. Doon ko na-realize na yung buhok mo pala sinasalo lahat ng pawis because I would be doing a pose pag ganun ko. Lahat ng tubig, lahat ng pawis. So sabi ko, ang iki pala ng hair if you don't shampoo it. But I was also, that was the least of my, baka makapal lang yata ako, Nancy. That was the least of my problems becoming kalbo because I told myself that kung magpakalbo ako, doon ko mapaprove na maganda ako. Na maganda talaga ako. So, lahat ng dito, ganyan. Tapos, lipstick, ganyan. So, that's what I was doing. But, I managed pretty well. In fact, if you ask my boss, I kept working. My dear brother, my dear kuya, the best thing he did for me, of course, aside from the moral support, he gave me one security guy na medyo kamag-anak namin, si Kuya Nestor, who was assigned to me for the duration of my treatment. He would take me to chemo. He was my yaya, kumbaga. That's why I owe him a lot also.
Yeah.
So si Nestor, si Kuya Kulot ang nickname niya. Ano yun original pa niya, kasama pala niya nung EDSA yun. So, yun ang nakabantay sa akin, hatid sundo, bring me to chemo, bring me ganyan. Until I was fine. And then my friends were, ginagawa nila excuse magkita yung chemo ko. Pupunta sila, chika-chika din kakain. Babalikan na lang ako. Sabi ko, mga hayop kayo, huwag nyo na ako gawin excuse. but they were there for me. Yeah. And then, but it was very difficult kasi the strange thing is I would do chemo again because I could handle it. But yung radiation, yung pag-sensitive yung balat mo, para siyang tapa. It was so painful. So, and then after that, I got depressed. So again, so parang that's when so it was a long process. But otherwise.
What kind of depression was that? Just depressed, or ano ba?
Yeah.
Clinical ba yan?
Clinical ako since the 1990s. And then bumalik siya because, pero iba na yung reason Parang nakalutang kaya everybody says, yay, you're fine. Get on with life. But you can't just get on with life. And this is something, if anybody here is a cancer victim or a cancer survivor, or anybody, listen, no? After you get treated, your life has changed. It's not status quo. Cannot be yung tipong, balik tayo like nothing happened. Something happened. You changed inside and you have to deal with that. So it's not a problem for you to get counseling or talk to psychiatrists? How come the things that were important to me before are no longer important? Why do I feel like there's something lacking or there's something I have to do? Or if you have earlier issues, which was what happened to me, lumutang ulit. So that's why I appreciated my doctor. Kinagtag na namin yung whatever it was that was causing that. Because it's also physiological.
Of
Let's
course.
get this straight. Depression is a physiological thing. Don't be embarrassed. Some people don't have vitamin C. Some people don't have enough serotonin, which is what depressives basically are. But there are reasons for that. They're triggers. So don't be afraid to explore that. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not a character flaw. It's the way you are. It's an illness. So explore that. So yun, so that we're working now also on a book for I Can Serve, and I'm handling the mental health section. Parang surprise, no? So parang yun, we're talking to people about how don't be ashamed. You got to talk about it with somebody. So and family members are not the best people to talk to because they're so close to the problem. So yun. So ano, I'm diagnosed now as bipolar, but I started with just clinical depression. But
Kaya
ganun
nga,
din.
ang tanong ko is, we perceive you as somebody who is very lively, energetic.
Oh,
Yeah, the way
oh,
you are now, the way you
yeah.
are, the way you're talking. But is that, meron bang sa ilalim na depression? Wala.
Right now I'm okay kasi parang but because nga I'm bipolar, I'm diagnosed bipolar, there are days when you cannot explain. That's why it's called clinical depression. Walang dahilan, yung parang walang I mean, for some days you're bagsakan talaga. And then just remember you're clinically depressed if it goes on for about 2 weeks or more, and then your hygiene becomes you ignore your hygiene, or you don't whatever gives you pleasure no longer makes you happy, uh it is that's how you know it's clinical. If you feel that it's been going on for a while, then talk to somebody. That's how I felt. There was an original trigger many years ago, but even then kahit nawala na siya, magkakaroon na ng slight na trigger, bagsak ka agad, and then it's very debilitating. Yung ang sabi ko nga, some people, much has been written about the pain of depression, no? But can you imagine waking up, the minute you open your eyes, naiiyak ka na. Yun.
Oh.
As soon as you open your eyes, you have we like to tell people to visualize it, no? Like si Winston Churchill famously called this depression the black dog that kept following him, di ba?
Aha.
Parang maraming ganyan. Ako, sabi ko hollow block. Yung hollow block na parang brick. Kasi pagising mo, nakapatong siya sa dibdib mo. That's how it felt before you get treated. It's really a physiological thing also. And
But
it gets triggered by,
Alya, alam mo, ang dami mong tinutulungan ngayon, those who are listening to you,
yeah.
who can
Yeah.
identify with you, and there are so many who are
Yes. Yes,
closet.
please don't, no? It's not, first of all, like I always say when I usually talk about it, it takes some, basically siguro dahil baka wala akong hiya. Baka pala mukha ko. No, but I just basically tell, okay, I'm depressive. So obviously I've had a productive life because I addressed it, no? But you don't lose hope kasi hindi agad I bonded with my doctor. The first medicine she gave me worked. It's not always like that. Kung di mo matok yung doctor mo, go shopping. That's fine. Find a doctor. Just because this doctor cannot help you doesn't mean you're hopeless. Find a doctor that works for you. Medicines will take a while to work, no? When you take medication, hindi tomorrow when you wake up, you're fine. No, doesn't happen that way. So, and then also there's this entire school of thought na, yung antidepressants are bad for your brain. They'll fry your utak. Sabi ko, okay, then I guess my utak is fried at age 58, but I'm still using it, no? My thing is, my philosophy is, when you're depressed, there are issues that you can't look at without breaking down or without feeling too emotional. What does medication do? It buffers it. So, titingnan mo siya na hindi ka masyado emotional. Then you look at it, hindi na siya masyado scary. When you get used to looking at it, binabawasan yung meds mo, ganyan. So you realize you have to confront your issues. That's all it does. Now, if you're on it for life, medyo kailangan supervised ka. Like me, I'm on a very minimal amount because it's really a chemical imbalance. But some days, my doctor would tell me, you take na lang twice a day for about a month and then babalik kami sa minimal. In fact, she tells me this minimum amount I'm taking is quite low, but okay na ako kasi I don't have to discuss it. I know na what the problem was. Alam mo yung ganon?
Alya, alam mo, I saw you before, medyo, you were plumpy, pero ngayon, tingnan mo yung katawan mo, di ba?
That comes comes with age, but actually my first round of depression, I ballooned to 210 pounds. That was in the 90s. I knew you already there. So parang
Mm-mm.
talaga yung yak na yak ka sa sarili mo. And then the yoga helped because it really fixes your utak and doing something that you no well, up to now I say that depression, and I still have to write that book, the
Yes,
double
you
whammy of
should.
depression. Yeah. So parang they have lessons eh. I mean, they teach you lessons. They teach you primarily to value what you have and to be grateful. So, and to do what makes you happy without, as long as you don't hurt other people. So ngayon, I find the apex of my happiness really when I'm in the ocean. So that's what I do a lot of, and with my animals, no.
Teka
I'm
muna,
single.
Alya.
Yes.
Hindi, why do you have to wait to write the book? Ba't hindi mo na lang i-video? Mag-video ka!
Video talaga.
Yeah, because you're telegenic and instant yun eh. Kailangan talaga eh. Kailangan na marami.
Yeah. I've had a few. We had a few talks, and you know what? Just to illustrate, Nance, a few years ago, I don't remember his name, the guy, but anyway, there was this broadcast journalist who had a video suicide note. Okay, the-record niya. Yeah, Pinoy yun. The-record niya na he's unhappy when friends are ganyan, and then he also said quite significantly that medicines didn't work for him, and then they found him the next day. He was dead in the hotel bathtub. He was quite young. After that, I was forced, I wrote something. Sabi ko, you know what, please don't believe that na, there are very rare cases na hindi tinatalaban ng medicine. One of my favorite writers who wrote about depression was like that, no? But hindi ka talaga magja-jackpot sa una eh. More often than not, maghahanap ka because the first one you take. So please don't lose patience. Sabi ko, ganyan. May sumulat sa akin sa Facebook na, may nag-message sa akin, I'm one of the friends of that guy. And then he told me it doesn't work. Sabi ko, no, you try. Go to my doctor or to any of these doctors. He went. 3 months later, he messages me, Nancy, sabi niyo, thank you, I feel so much better. I don't know what I would have done if he didn't answer my message. Parang kikilabutan ka na, parang feeling ko, okay, so every time somebody messages me, I make it a point to answer because I don't know where they're at, no? So, and marami. I've had people say, I feel normal again since I started meds. Don't be afraid of, as my doctor said, the meds are, as long as they're supervised, don't drink them like aspirin. Parang, as long as they're supervised and you know what they're doing, that's fine. I mean, because may imbalance ka nga eh. Kung kulang ka ng vitamin C, inom ka ng that's what I think, no? Some people are very, very strongly against medication, antidepressants, but kanya-kanyang path yan. So I think this one worked for me. I didn't have the strength to handle it without the meds. So, yun. Don't be afraid.
There are many testimonials to your life in your photos. So let's go and do that.
Ayan na.
Oo, di ba?
Oo,
Kailan
diba?
to? Kailan to?
Ano yun? Teka, hindi ko makita. Hindi ko makita, natakpan siya ng mukha natin. Which one is this? I can't see it. Oh.
Ayan. Cannot?
Oh, this one? You're looking at the solo lang?
Sorry. Ikaw dapat. Wait.
Oh, there, yeah. No, that's just me during one of my, because during the pandemic, para kumita pa rin, I started doing writing workshops. If anybody wants, it's called Writing First Aid. It's a review, no? So I did that.
Wait, again, pakiulit para maano natin yan.
It's called Writing First Aid. There's a Facebook page, although I have to admit I haven't done it in a while kasi I do corporate now, corporate, because I get asked by people. I've done San Miguel, Ayala Foundation, lahat. It's a review of style and grammar. I have one coming up again for the Zwellig Foundation. Mga ganyan, parang review kasi some people still don't know the it's versus it apostrophe S. So, you just have to remind them.
Ako.
So, during one session, I just took my picture. Sabi ko yan ang aking shot.
Okay.
Yun. So, mahaba pa buko dyan at yung glasses ko were bought in an antique shop in Soho.
Kung writing first aid, it's that can people avail of that, access that?
Yeah, right now though may I suggest you go to the Facebook page, leave me a message, preferably if you can get a group together. Mura lang siya. It's a 2-hour session, period.
Okay.
But after the 2-hour session, I'll give you assignment and then I will edit you so you know what you're doing. Parang Yun yung ano doon eh, may edit kita. So I can tell you what it's like. Some people naman have been able to benefit from it. But
That's
to
good.
our, to our review lang siya. Para sabihin ko sa'yo na ganito, itong common mistakes, don't forget kung ano yung dangling modifier, kung anong, these are, don't forget the its versus the whos and the loose and the eh, di ba, ganyan, what's the right preposition, don't forget this, ganyan.
All
Did
right.
you know that there are 3 kinds of dashes? There are 3 kinds of dashes. And then, when you write numbers, please, anything below 10, you write the word 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 and above, pwede ka na mag-numerals. 10, 9 and down, kailangan word yan. So,
Oh
you
my
don't write.
gosh, I'm learning. I'm
Mga
learning.
ganyan. So, so it was quite successful actually. It actually sustained me while everybody was lying low and petrified of the pandemic.
Pandemic,
So,
yes. Yeah.
katulong
Okay.
naman.
Next. Dali ah.
Features.
Ito na.
Chemotherapy. Siyempre I realized kung,
Bihira yung mga nakasmile pag nagkikimo. Ikaw nakasmile
ano
ka.
nga ako matibay kasi I think the yoga. Never ako lupasay. Never ako yung nahimatay na sumusuka. Never ako nag-throw up during chemo. Sa totoo
Kalbo ka
lang.
ba dyan?
Ha? Kalbo ako dyan. Hindi, medyo, kalbo ako dyan kasi malamig. That's what I found out pag nagpakalbo ka. Malamig pala. Kasi pag tamaan niya ng aircon. Saka yan, I never asked to lie down because I felt sicker if I lay down. So it's in a chair. And then, it was covered by insurance serendipitously. So sabi nung onko ko, sige, yung first mo, gawin natin. Kung hindi niya i-cover, kasi St. Luke siya global, probably one of the most expensive hospitals in Manila. Sabi niya, kung i-cover nila, dito tayo. Kung hindi nila i-cover, lipat tayo doon sa mas murang hospital. Sabi ko, okay, kinover. So, masaya ako. I was fine during chemo. I would sleep for about 2 days after and then I would go back to work. Yun.
Anong year to?
2013.
Okay. And then after that, cleared ka na. You graduated.
No, you would know. After that, you do your radiation and then they will monitor you for a few years. You will always be NED, no evidence of disease. But when you hit 7 years, you're officially cancer-free.
Amen.
Amen, talaga. I'm so grateful for that.
Love you. Sandali. Next. Iba namang
Okay.
career mo.
No, hindi ang career. Kasi, kaya ako nakaganyan kasi I know nothing. Believe it or not, Nancy, sinama ako nila Mirna Sagismundo and nila Raul Ramos to do something for the DTI, the Department of Trade and Industry, about promoting Filipino food. I was the only journalist on the team. But sabi sa akin, ang requirement, pag kailangan ng extra hands, join ka. That is cordon bleu Paris. Okay?
Wow.
Parang, I could not believe. Sabi ko, what the hell am I doing here? I'm slicing mangoes to put into saging yan, lalagay sa turon. Kasi may turon na. Tapos sabi, she had to lend me a chef's jacket and then the apron. And sabi ko, what the hell am I doing here? It was so hilarious because I was so intimidated. But it was a huge kitchen, beautiful kitchen, wonderful chefs. Sobrang naging hit yung turon na may tsokolate. Oh my God, it was so much fun. But of course, I wrote about it for Inquirer, but they were taking my picture because of all the people to be in the kitchen. Ako pa. My friends who are chefs were going, buti ka pa. Sabi ko, I had no idea what I was. It's hilarious.
Parang at home ka dyan. At home na at home.
Beer na lang parang, what am I doing? Okay, yun.
Next.
Kaloka lang.
Naman?
This was a mental health forum we had for the group FIAT, Families in Arts and Culture. It's a group of ladies. It's a religious group based in Alabang. They said, can we do a mental wellness forum? We did it in Alabang. We took it to Davao and Cebu. And then we talked in front of God, I think it was about 1,000 people live this was right before the pandemic. And then, so right before the pandemic talaga siya. Tapos, kasama ko si Kathy Babaw, who's a grief coach, and then Sheila Suntay, who also lost a child to suicide and has since been advocating for young people. Excellent work. And Dr. Cornelio Banaag, who's one of the leading adolescent psychiatrists. But it's a big group kami. And then I was talking primarily about my experience. So again, people were saying na, my God, you talked about your chuchu, ganyan. Sabi ko, okay lang, totoo naman diba? totoo naman yun eh, di ba? So, yun. So that was me talking in front of, it's one of the advocacies we had, yeah. Ha!
Ito
My
na, si
children!
Frankie, si
No,
Kiko.
from left, clockwise from left, the one yung katabi ng snowman. This was an attempt to make a Christmas card. Did they cooperate? No. So that's Kikay, the panganay on the left. She's now 13. Then that's Kiko, my only boy, on the up top right. And then that's Frankie, the pandemic baby, on the right. So I tried to take their picture. I was not very successful. The snowman is supposed to be a Christmas thing. Syempre, dead ma sila. But yeah, those are my children. They sleep on the bed with me.
Especially pag nanonood ka kamo ng ng mga
Horror movie. Oh, yun. Lahat naman sila. Especially the little boy, the one on the upper right. He takes his role as the only boy here. He's the only guy here. They're all girls. Me and my yaya and then the two dogs. She's not my yaya. Hindi ako matronang may yaya. Yaya yan ng nanay ko. Then she just stayed on. But how funny, he's the only boy here, so it takes it very serious. Nagpapatrol yan kung gabi. Siya ang pinakamaliit, ha? Papatrol yan, nakabantay yan sa banyo. Habang naliligo ka, nandun siya sa bathroom mat, parang nobody shall pass while my mom is taking a bath. But they're the loves of my life, really. Diba? He's sleeping now on the floor, Kiko.
Ngayon, yan tatlo.
Yung isa, yung dalawa nasa kama ko, I'm sure. But yung nandito si Kiko. Kiko stays close to me all the time.
I have a painful question. Suppose one of them leaves na. Let's say.
No, that's happened to me in the past. You just have to, it's very painful talaga. I've lost dogs and then, I was still in the throes of my depression when I lost Banana, this one. When I lost her, my God, I thought, you just have to realize, in case any of you are losing dogs, look for, coming home, what to do when a pet dies. It's something like that, the title, by John Katz, no? It's a beautiful book because he tells you really that we have to accept that from the beginning, maikli ang buhay nila. We're going to outlive them. That's for sure. But don't make the mistake of thinking na pag mamatay sa ayaw mo na, sayang yung love eh. They would want you to take more and more. And then, you know what they like to say, that dog people have very big hearts. There's room for all the dogs that we want to love. There's room for them. They teach us a lesson. They come. Like Kikay was there. She was my nurse. Imagine, if I had that Labrador when I had cancer, hirap ako because high maintenance yun, marami sakit. Kikay had zero issues. She would just eat and sleep. That's it. She was there with me when I had cancer. And then, now that she's older, I'm taking care of her but she's fine pa eh. Medyo, so the dogs come and they're different. They're like people. They have different personalities. You have to understand them. So yes, it's very painful when they're lost, but you don't let that bog you down because you're just glad that they chose to live with you.
Ano yan? English speaking o marunong mag-Tagalog?
Mainly English speaking. In fact, ang joke namin.
Oh my gosh!
Mainly nga, yung joke namin is that mas mahal pa yung shampoo nila kaysa sa kanila. Kasi I put VCO and fresh gulay and fresh fruit in their food.
Yes, oo.
So ano talaga sila?
Obligado ka palang magluto kahit paano.
Di naman luto. We buy alam mo yung sawdust ng, I found a supplier in San Juan who actually sells steak, but she sells the sawdust, the mga latak, the shavings for very cheap. That's what we do. We boil that. We put it on the food. It's very inexpensive. It's like, so, and then that's what they eat. So, type naman nila.
My sister had a dog and she fed her kalabasa. Talagang...
Oh, yeah. They eat kalabasa also. Kalabasa, sayote, carrots, whatever the fruits are available, no, we grate it and we put it in there. Takaw naman sila. They're healthy. Look at, tingnan mo katawan na yan. Oh, my parents. These are my parents. Yeah. This was, if you're noticing the batik, because my dad was working with the Puyats before in Indonesia. In fact, I spent 1 year, 3rd grade, in studying, strangely, in an Indian school in Jakarta. And this was during a party during that time. So, nakabatik sila pareho. So, circa mga, oh dear, this must have been kalimutan ko na, 74,
Was your
So
dad somebody like a military guy also?
yes, my father was a graduate of PMA class of 1943. They
Uh,
were graduated earlier because naggera. In fact, by the time they got their diplomas in the 60s, a third of their class had passed away during the war. My father was in the death march at age 19.
oh,
He
wow.
survived. Yun. So, nag-retire siya as a colonel. So, kaya he wasn't forcing any of my, except the panganay, yung kuya ko. Sabi niya, take the exam, take the exam. Ayaw na nanay ko. Sabi niya, take the exam. Pumasa siya. Try it for 1 year. If you don't like it, feel free to go out, do whatever you like. After yung 1 year, tontuwa yung nanay ko. They thought they could bring him home. Ayaw na umalis sa PMA ng kuya ko. Parang, oops.
Senator pa siya, no? Until now?
No, no more na. In fact, he lost the last senatorial race, which believe it or not, the family goes, ay, salamat.
Gringo, binoto kita.
Thank you, Nancy. Yung nga, some of my friends would go, why aren't you campaigning? Sabi ko, at this point, there's some people who will hate him until he dies, and there's some people who will vote for him, no matter what. So, parang feeling ko, I don't need to tell you. So, yun, he was in the top 20, pero hindi siya umabot, which is okay na rin sa amin, kasi he fought a good fight. So,
Yeah.
parang, ox naman siya. So, yun. 74 na rin siya. Hindi na siya bata.
Gwapo pa. Oh, ayan.
Yan. Me. Photographed by Yvette Lee. Tubataha.
That's a stonefish.
No, that's some fish, yeah. Those are some fish swimming around some beautiful fan coral. That's me
mga
floating
isda
around.
ba to?
Itong dilaw, itong mga dilaw, yun yung isda. Yung pink na yan is a coral. We have beautiful.
I thought it was a fish. Okay.
No, it's huge coral, and then they're all swimming around it. And you look at the color, no? And you look how deep, medyo malalim kami diyan, kaya dark na siya. Kasi,
So, nag-photography ka rin?
Hindi, wala akong tiyaga.
Really?
Parang, when I see my photographer friends, parang nasado siya ng stress sa equipment, kailangan nakaayos, ang mahal. Sabi ko, I'm here to chill. Why am I gonna stress myself out? So, nagmamodel na. Nagmamodel na. Ayun. So, parang kami, yung parang palutang-lutang lang. That's usually one of the times when I'm happiest, when I'm there, underwater.
When was your last dive?
First week of May. Bumalik kami May 1. We were in Bohol. A friend of mine was here from Australia. Sabi ko, what do you want to do? Sabi niya, gusto mag-dive sa Bohol. Tama-tama, may trip. So we went. It was so much fun. And then, our diving is fantastic. So there's something now in Bohol called the Sardine Run. There's a ball of sardines that just lives in Mapaling.
Yeah.
It just stays there. So when you go there, ubusan ng hangin. Nandun ka lang, katingin ka lang sa kanya. And it's so beautiful. So, plus Bohol is lovely. The food is nice.
Ubusan ng hangin.
Correct.
Okay.
When you get kasi to level namin, medyo matipid ka na sa hangin. So, inaabot ka na isang oras. So, okay. All right.
Okay, ito na.
Yan na natira. I mean, that's before my mom passed away. No, she passed away. But kami na lang tatlo. That's from left, my brother Greg, that's me, and then my brother Bert. So, tatlo na lang kami natira. That's my mom when she was 94. The following year, she passed, no?
Yeah. Well, she looks like a strong woman talaga.
Oh, yeah. She lost so many.
Yeah.
How many? Ano siya? Oh.
3?
She lost, my father and 3 sons.
Yeah.
So, yun lang kami natira.
Mm-hmm.
Pero okay naman siya. Naabutan niya mga great-grandchildren pa niya. So,
you still get together, kayong tatlo?
Oh, yeah. Our house is like a compound. Next door lang yung family nila Greg. So, I see them regularly. Si Bert lives nearby. So,
all right.
Yan na. No, that's an Iyengar yoga retreat in Baguio. We used to have it regularly. So that's me in front, pardon the hita. Yan. So yan. So we used to have that retreat. Parang it's intensive every year. Yun. So that's one of them. So yun. So walang kinalaman sa pagkalapad mo yung so you kaya naman. Even if I'm big, I'm 175 pounds. But I'm still able to, I can carry myself. That's the important thing.
It doesn't show, Alya.
Di naman, nakikita mo naman yung medyo, but I was warned about this before. Sabi nila sa chemo, halaka, you're going to get older, you might feel the effects on your bones later. Sabi ko, okay, medyo may mga may mga nangyayari na sa mga muscle ko, kung minsan masakit, pero okay naman. Still alright. Still alright.
Okay. Lapit
Yes.
na tayo, we're nearing the end, but I know that one of the best things that you're doing now, and which Telma Sanwan is also very proud of, is the diaries.
Yes, we went
Please tell us
digital
about
na.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, a couple of years ago, I think my boss, Telma San Juan, my long-time boss, she was my boss in my first diaryo job, Manila Chronicle, then napunta in Inquirer. I eventually joined her in Metro Magazine when she was the head of ABS Publishing. I was with her. So, kaladkad niya ako because it just happens to be really able to join her, no. So finally she goes, when she retired, she's always been wanting to put up a website na passion writing, yung mga, if you want to write essays, hindi kailangan news, essays, ganyan ganyan, people, little things, ganyan ganyan. So sabi niya, halika, join ka. Oh, so sure. So I kind of help her out, and I have to admit that it's a wonderful outlet. We do a lot of essays. That's what she enjoys. I enjoy it. So, and then sabi namin, tara, mag-outlet naman tayo for good writing. Yabang ano. So we have people writing for us, and then people do follow us. And then,
Yes.
kumbaga, it's really gratuitous kasi like, we like BTS. So let's write about BTS, you know.
Yan na.
Oh, yan na. So parang ano naman, like I said, diba, she was the one who looped me in. And then, but now we like, is this a good article? Yeah, this is a good article. We have all kinds of points of view. People writing about music, writing about, mga books. I do a lot of environmental and travel work, and then I write about my dogs, and then she writes about being a mom and also the
Marami.
political
Even
situation.
the
Marami.
elections, yeah.
The elections, yeah. It's kind of fun to read kasi mas mahaba, pwede ka magkwento, di ba? Yun.
Bucket list.
Ah?
Top 3.
Bucket list, me?
Top 3.
Top 3. Actually, I think nga I'm 58, so I'm saving my money because in January I'm doing a major dive trip in Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of those hardcore things that you get on a boat and you're out there for 10 days. So
Why is it major other than 10 days of diving? Why?
yeah, because it's malayo. It's about you go to La Paz, and then you go straight out. It's a World Heritage Site. You got everything. We got dolphins, sharks, everything.
Wow.
Big stuff. But it's cold diving, so I'm kind of preparing for that also. So
it's what? Cold.
Cold. When you say cold, it's a little bit, you have to layer up, no? I've dived cold before. It's not pleasant, but you just have to be warm. It's a little bit more challenging kasi tropical animals tayo eh. We're used to diving in, pwede ka mag-dive na naka-t-shirt lang kung gusto mo, but when you go out there, medyo mahirap. Saka, there's current, there's challenge, but it's fun. So, what do I want to do? I want to go to, I want to watch a BTS concert. That's my bucket list. And then I want to visit. Well, I probably get to do that next year also with the Mexico trip. I want to visit Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Okay.
That's one thing. Kasi wala. Actually, that's one thing I learned, Dance. When you're a survivor, you don't really have too many New Year's resolutions. Your goal is to be happy and do well. Parang hindi ka na disappoint. You like to live in the moment. In terms of bucket list, talagang just be happy and try to help as many people as you can without compromising yourself. So that's what I'm trying to look for. And that book, maybe I should get that done. Really. Also.
Yes.
I also want kasi a hard copy. And tama-tama somebody sent me notice that the National Book Development Board is granting grants if you want to publish something. Sabi ko, sige, let's see. Kasi it's a story that's been in my head for a while. But, I just have to get down and write it.
Well, you can do the draft in a video.
Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, I think because it's very immediate now. The need is immediate. Marami eh.
Yeah.
And even the presence of autistic kids now.
Yeah.
It's, as they said, we never heard of that before.
Yeah, before. But the global, one of the stories I did, the global incidence of suicide from depression from young people is quite alarmingly high. Even in the Philippines, medyo mataas siya. So parang, di ba? You kind of wonder what either we're just talking about it or I mean, we all love we all love the internet, and it has a slew of benefits, yung social media and stuff. But it's also got, for some kids who should be talking to people and making friends, nagiging disadvantage kung minsan they just resort to social media for approval, for sharing. So, it's kind of difficult. They have to learn to relate to people live pa rin. And the pandemic didn't help, but,
Si
parang,
Bossing,
ay,
Alya,
ah,
si Bossing
oh,
may message. Don't forget
oh,
our depression diary.
oh, yeah, we do have a book in the offing na ready to be printed. It's dalawa kami, me and Pam Pastor. She's also an editor for the Inquirer. We told our stories, and then that kompleto na yan, it's set to be printed. Yeah.
Okay,
But
well,
di ko pa alam. But yung the one kasi I'm supposed to write, the one I want to do for myself eventually is I already have a title in mind. It's Twice as Tough, di ba?
uh-huh.
So it's
Okay.
breast cancer, depression, and other blessings. And other gifts.
Yeah. Eh,
Yun
yan ang
lang.
maganda kasi ang ending ng parating statement mo there's
Correct.
always the
No, that's the best way to,
yeah.
you have to laugh. I mean, even when I was sick, a very good friend of mine, we were so crazy. We would enter a restaurant, pag puno, sabi niya, walang upuan, sige, drama na. So I'd take off my hat and then start to talk. Sabi niya, Miss, can you give us a table? Kasi my friend is sick. She gets tired easily. So, syempre, nagkaka-table kami. Kapal na mukha.
Okay. Okay.
Yun. Everything's better with humor. Everything's better with
Of
humor. You know
course,
that.
yeah. And I want to conclude this show with that na you've been an inspiration dito pa lang sa interview. Ano pa yung all your writings and all your events and your talks and your lectures, so many, di ba? But now at
Thank
this
you.
moment we like to use you to give an inspiration to those who are first surviving or trying to survive anything, any kind of cancer, and
Okay.
some of them even feel guilty, and that
Yes.
just brings them down. Number
Yeah.
two, lahat ng advocacy mo, pati yung even sa dogs, even yung finding humor, as you said, and well, o sige na nga yung BTS. Yeah. But, can you please give us a nice message to the Gen X, yung mga senior na kagaya ko? Naku, marami kayo dyan
Marami
nakikinig.
kayo nakikinig. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yung mga secret BTS na ano.
Bakit i-secret? Huwag i-secret yan.
Pero talo ka ng iba. Kinikiss mo ba yung screen mo pag andun sila?
Di naman
Kinikiss
kiss.
mo yung
Di
screen?
naman kiss. Ba't nasa telepono ko yung mga mukha nila? Okay? I mean,
Kinikiss mo.
oh, hindi ko
Kinikiss mo.
kinikiss. In fact, I just had, nakatawa, yung isa sa kanila, running joke ng grupo, all of the fans are telling him, Yungi, marry me. Yungi, marry me. So, hindi ko pa napopost siya na nagpagawa ako ng t-shirt. Tell me you haven't seen this. I'm going to post that. Nagpagawa ako ng t-shirt. Because it's so funny. He's the one he's so like sarcastic and, why do you want to marry me? Tapos all the fans are going, Yungi, marry me. Well, I had this tattoo done in Brooklyn in 2018. It says, everything is a gift. And that's become my philosophy in life.
Alright.
No matter what religious persuasion you are, I think it's, first of all, I think if you're not religious, I think it's behooves you to believe there's a force beyond us, because there's a reason for all this. You cannot, none of this happened randomly, no? So everything's a gift. Our life is a gift. Everything that happens to us a gift. Even if you be grateful for the little things. As soon as I had that idea, it kind of changed my life. Parang even if I'm driving and there's a parking space, I'm grateful for that. And if you keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you, your life goes on the upturn, no? So parang, what can I say? I'm 58. I'm nearing seniorhood. I'm single. I don't regret it, kasi I think that's our fate in life, diba? For some of us, it's not a regret, kasi I realize now, because I'm depressive and volatile, baka I would have had a harder time if I had kids and husband. So I'm happy with my dogs. But my thing is basically, there's always something to be grateful for, no matter what age you are. Even when you're in the depths of your sickness, you will realize that good things come out. You just have to open your eyes, though. You have to stop pitying yourself, kasi, and that's one thing also. Don't rely on other people. Your husband's not gonna save you. Your mother's not gonna save you. It's you.
Yeah.
You're going to save yourself, and you have the resources to save yourself. Internal resources. So just look in, develop an interior world that you can. Henry Nowan is a spiritual writer. His favorite and is always go back to that solid place. The solid place is inside you, and that's where everything makes sense. Meditate. I meditate also.
Okay.
Okay.
Like meditate with yoga or ano ba yan?
No, no, no. It's Christian meditation. I join a group. It's prayer, basically. It's just being quiet. Kasi when we pray, it's always, I want this, I want that, I want this, ganito, I'll pray kasi ganyan. Alam mo, it's very hard because you have to be quiet.
Yeah.
When you try to be quiet and just be there in the presence of God, ang hirap kaya, especially if if you're OC like me, that you want to always list down what you have to do. Mahirap, but it's a very learning experience. Try it. In this world, we need the silence. We need some silence for us.
All right. Okay. What's the next thing that you would like to do na aside from yung sa bucket list mo na like you will do tomorrow usually? How's the day like? I'm just
Me?
yeah.
Ano, kasi nga, I do get a lot of writing projects. I'm in the middle of one right now. So I'd like to be able to get most of that done. But me naman, every chance I get to escape, okay lang yan. So parang, get near the ocean. I mean, I'm supposed to go with some friends on the 25th to the beach. But I'm going to bring some work. But that's okay kasi writing. Parang... Basically that, and then I'm bringing my kids have their vet appointment soon, their annual vet appointment. So far okay lang. I mean, whatever every day kasi has its little gifts eh. Even if somebody sends you manga, my cousin sent me manga. Sarap. So parang galing Sambales, excited ako na mahinog. Yung mga ganon. Little things. Find the good, no? So immediately yon. Yun lang.
I can't help but look at you when you're smiling. Meron kang kamukhang artista eh. Netflix, hindi
Netflix, in the words of the late Tony Mabesa, when I used to do some theater before, said I look like
Alya, you were in theater also.
Retired na ako. Diyos ko, my last play was before I got sick, and I don't think I have the aptitude to memorize scripts anymore and rehearse into the night. Okay lang, because my mentor has passed on. It was a beautiful experience, and I don't know, parang, of course, I'm not closing the door on it, but right now it's not, I'm not actively pursuing it or anything. But he used to tell me I look like, I don't know if you know that old Hollywood star, Ann Miller. She dances. She used to dance with Fred Astaire. Sabi niya, my God, you look like Ann Miller. And then,
meron pang isa.
Sabi nung isa, Mini Driver. Mini Driver has also been, hindi ba si ano? Hindi ba si... Di ba si
Yun. Pagtawa mong ganyan, yan. Meron.
Sino.
Yeah. I hope makatch ko sa Netflix one time.
I don't watch Netflix.
Really? How do you survive?
YouTube is full of so much interesting stuff. I mean, I've been watching so many interesting documentaries on ancient Egypt, Rome. There's a Harvard... Dr. Mary Beard, she talks about Rome like they were her neighbors. It's Pompeii like they're her neighbors. It's just so much fun. Yun, ano lang. Kasi mahina nga ako sa mag-latch on sa... And then if I really want to go mindless, I watch my gross videos. And then I watch BTS videos singing, the boys singing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alya.
Thank you, Nancy. This was so much fun. Salamat po.
Well, kulang nga bitin nga Pero
okay lang.
Nag-overtime na nga tayo
Okay lang. Thank you, Anton.
Yeah, but you know what? You haven't reached senior age yet. Pero grabe, those who are listening now can easily so relate to everything that you have said. But I don't want them to relate to the sickness, but to relate to how you're surviving. And the tips that you gave, diba? At the inner, yung mga ganon. So, maybe we should ask you again Maybe
Yeah, let me know. Let me
there's
know.
there's a psychologist in you, eh. Diba?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a
That was my course. Yeah, that was my course. So I kind of get it. Parang that's why maybe that's why I'm empathetic also to people
And
who
then,
have it.
naisip pa akong tanong eh.
Ano?
Paano yung, how will wives who just discovered that their husband was having an affair? Lumaki yung mata mo. No,
Kasi
I-
kasi I've never.
ang dami na eh. Ang
Oh,
daming,
I'm not married, and in the few relationships I had in my life, I was never betrayed, so I wouldn't know. But
takot
I've
lang
talked
nila
to
sa
friends.
kapatid mo.
Hindi, no. I mean, not counting my brother. One thing I noticed is that yung mga kinakaliwa na ganyan, the ones who feel cornered are the ones who don't have their own lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yung wala silang, they're not independent. They have no thing of their own. Everything is the entire life is hinged on the
Yeah,
husband.
yeah.
So that's not a good idea. So even now you have to be your own person. That even makes you more attractive. Your husband will realize that you're your own person. So if the jerk decides to leave, well, me, I don't know, ha. I really don't know because I'm the type like that. You don't want me, go, diba? Parang but kunyari the first time, it's up to you. Kung talagang natukso lang siya, baka okay lang. Pero kung medyo ano na siya, kung medyo habitual, don't waste your time. You start anew. No matter how old you are, you can always start. Just get rid of that excess poundage in your life and then start something new. Diba? That's what I think. But I again, I cannot claim I've never been in a marriage. I've never been, never ako nakaliwa. But, parang feeling ko, it would be maybe that's why. Kung nakaliwa ako ngayon, baka nervous wreck ako. So parang, it's still important to have your own thing. I believe in your own bank account, your own things. One
Good.
of my best friends,
Yeah.
yeah, one of my best friends who dives with me has a wonderful marriage because her husband likes to paint. He doesn't like scuba. She likes to scuba. She's the wife, huh? She likes to scuba, but she gets bored on painting trips. But they have their own lives. But when they're together, they're very happy because they allow each other. So when she goes on week-long dive trips, mas lalo siya, tatawag yung guy, musta ka, ganyan-ganyan. May sarili siyang buhay. And even her son admires her for being 50 years old and being such a good diver, diba?
Yeah.
So don't empty yourself. Don't empty yourself into other people. That's what I think.
So for those who are listening, we have had a very enlightening time with the inner Alya, the outer
Inner area.
Alya on land, Alya underwater, Alya surviving, Alya with a sense of humor.
Alya with
Who
4
loves her
legs,
dog.
diba?
Alia, yeah, Alia loving her dogs, and Alia really just being an inspiration. So
Thank
watch
you.
out and let her correct your grammar
Grammar.
and go share. I'm so ashamed and
Grammar.
go to the writing first aid
Yeah,
because
gather a group, that'd be nice. Oh.
she did not just give us a writing first aid. She gave us a lifestyle first aid, and for
Oh,
that,
diba?
thank you very much,
Thank
Alia.
you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
This was so much fun. Take care. See
And,
you soon, I hope.
at
Oh.
saka
Thank you, Anton.
ang ganda mo. Siguro
May wrinkles na. Oh. Anton, eat your way through Malaga.
there's Anton. Ayan, nabuhay. No, actually, Anton is there listening. All right.
Eat your way through. Bye-bye. Salamat.
You are awesome. God is good.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
Bye, Alia.
Bye-bye.